I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is a rescheduled meeting of the Hartford City Plan Commission. First order of business is to review the minutes of the August 8th, 2022 meeting. Is it on now? There we go. Sorry about that. Again, I'm calling this meeting to order. It's a rescheduled meeting of the City of Hartford Plan Commission. First order of business is a review of the minutes of the August 8th meeting.
Make a motion.
Motion by Ralph, second by Tony. Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Third order of business is appearances. So anyone wishing to appear can do so. For City of Hartford for 3 minutes if you wish to appear. Third call. Seeing none, moving on to the fourth order of business. Discussion and consideration of a site plan for HUHS tennis courts at 420 West Monroe Avenue. Justin.
Beforehand, I want to thank you all. Can you hear me?
No. It's just you, Tony. You can.
Okay, is that better? All right. Thank you all for making the time to make this rescheduled meeting. I know that you usually carve out your second Monday of the month and have plans for other Mondays, but try and get you through this expeditiously. In August, you looked at the site plan for the high school's tennis courts, looking at the location of the courts and the location of the fences. They did not have the pavilion plans finished at that point, so given the size of it, anything over 100 square feet has to come before this body in this type of district. So it is coming back to you. Just as a reminder, the tennis complex includes 8 tennis courts, portable bleachers, and a proposed pavilion that would include a restroom. The pavilion would meet all the setback requirements, would be set back 65 feet from West Monroe Avenue, and it would be 300 square feet, composed of split-face concrete masonry units, would include 2 individual bathrooms, a mechanical room, and a concession area. Very typical for a recreational type of use, similar to the other pavilions we've got in our parks. So staff recommends in favor.
You've heard the proposal by staff. Any further comments? Then I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Move to approve by Ralph. Second by Joe. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Fifth order of business, discussion and consideration of the site plan for Rytech at 901 Cleveland Avenue. Justin?
Yeah, so Rytech moved into this building a few years ago. Their building is primarily it fronts Wacker as well as Cleveland, but they're running out of space and so looking for a spot to put a cold storage building. It'll be in the area that's currently a parking lot that's highlighted on the map in front of you. It'd be located west of the existing building. It would house extrusions that are currently stored outside, meets all the setback and lot coverage requirements of the M2 district. And it'd be right there. And it would be a typical metal storage building, which is completely appropriate given the location, similar to other storage buildings that have been approved in other parts of the city and industrial properties. It'd be placed over an existing asphalt area, so impervious surface does not change, and electric service will come from the existing building, and staff recommends in favor.
All right, thanks, Justin. You've heard review by staff. Any further comments?
I just got a quick question. So are they looking at bringing in, cold storage, obviously they're going to be loading, unloading. Is there enough room for trucks to maneuver through there? And what kind of docks are they looking at putting on it? Or is it?
It's going to be at grade, so not a semi-type dock that's recessed partway into the ground. They looked at this. I discussed it with them when they were in the planning process at length, and they feel like they've got the space that they need. So the turns would obviously be tight on the east side, but the intention is primarily to take it directly out of a bay on the west side of the building and then put it in the cold storage building, so.
Okay, so kind of running it through the other building and the
Yep.
docks and stuff that way. It does look like they have entrance and exits into the building though, off of the back side, correct?
Yes, there's a man door on both the north and the south side.
Correct, okay.
Anything further?
Just that that diagram there shows parking in that location. Is that a necess? I mean, are they losing anything, or they need any parking that?
They
is
are
gonna be taken?
losing some parking. I think they'll be able to repurpose some of their, along Wacker Drive, some of that area into parking.
Okay.
But, yeah, they feel they'll have enough parking going forward.
Okay.
Anything else? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Tony to approve,
I'll second.
Joe to second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And motion passes. Sixth order of business, discussion and consideration of a site plan for Planet Fitness at 1201 Bell Avenue. Justin?
Planet Fitness would like to locate in half of what used to be the Century grocery store, and they want to do a facade remodel. That type of use, fitness center is a allowable use in the B2 community district as a permitted use. We're treating this are reviewing this under the large-scale retail design guidelines and standards because we kind of are treating the whole former Hartford Plaza as one. The festival, the shops that are being completed just to the north of the festival in the outbuilding, and now this as well. It's kind of all one large-scale redevelopment, so it makes sense to treat it all as such and make sure it has some of those elements that we want to see in the larger scale developments, even though this in and of itself is smaller than that. So the facade for the Planet Fitness and a future tenant would feature repainted, single-scored concrete masonry units, 2 finishes and colors of fiber cement panels, louvered metallic panels above and below the sign areas, and a painted standing seam metal roof. Existing windows would remain. There are numerous changes of plane present on the street-facing facades, which helps to reduce the scale of the building, one of the things that that part of the code requires. We are seeing the use of higher-end metal siding as an accent on more buildings. They're using it in the shops at Bell Avenue. We've seen it used in some industrial buildings to good effect, so I think it can work well here. It's not done as a cost-saving mechanism, but more as an architectural accent piece. Overall, I think that the design is a pretty dramatic improvement over what's currently there, and will fit in well with investments that both Festival and the shops at Hartford or at Bell Avenue have already made, as well as the Culvers, which is nearby. So it would meet also the detail feature requirement, the requirement for changes to the roof line, materials and colors, the entryway requirements through the use of arcades and raised parapets. No changes to the landscaping or lighting are proposed or required at this point. Festival, which owns the property, just resurfaced, repainted all of the parking lot. They would like to do some additional landscaping once they've kind of finished the whole development out. But I think at this point, given that they're reusing an existing building, I didn't feel it was necessary. So staff recommends in favor of the proposed facade remodel for Planet Fitness as presented.
So what we're looking at here, are they using half of that, what we're seeing?
Yeah, so you can kind of see on this map, they're using the eastern half, basically, of the former Century building.
Okay.
So the remaining, I mean, all the buildings are remaining as they stand today.
Currently, yes. It's and certainly the western half of this, the other half of what they're using, would be remodeled and available for a tenant. It's still possible they'll opt to demolish the rest of the remaining building, or they may opt to redo it similar to this. So it kind of just depends on what is proposed and to go in there and what that tenant is looking for and what makes the most sense.
Okay, so festival still owns the building and stuff, and it'll be a tenant to them?
Correct.
To the current owners? And then the last thing, I mean, I know the old Kmart building, I mean, that roof was, and I know when we had some other proposals, they talked about redoing all the roofs, and I know Kmart building was bad. Is this one in the same type of position, or what kind of work's gonna need to be done for this building as it has sitting for probably 20, almost 20 years? Maybe not quite that many. But.
No, but it's been sitting for a while. There's substantial interior and roof work that needs to be done, is my understanding. I haven't toured it myself, but they will certainly need to bring it up to code, and they're fully aware of all of the investments that need to be made.
Okay.
Oh, the improvements are good to see, so.
Well, just getting to use these buildings again is great, you know?
All right, anything else? Seeing nothing, I'm open to a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Ralph. I'll second it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? Seeing none, measure passes. Last item on the agenda is adjournment. I'll take a motion. Motion by Tony,
Second by Joe?
second by Joe. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.